What if AI is not the thing that fixes your MSP operation? And what if triage is? Steve here, an operational strategist from Advanced Global MSP Coaching, a team of Autotask experts. Today, I want to walk you through something that most MSP owners are overlooking when it comes to AI. Everyone is asking, how do we use AI in our business? But almost no one is asking, are we actually prepared for AI to work? And the honest answer for most MSPs is no. And it comes down to three core problems. One, lack of high quality data for AI to read and make decisions on. Two, a lack of standardized operating procedures. And three, the lack of accountability for the team to follow those procedures. And here's the part that matters. If you fix SOPs and accountability, the data problem fixes itself. And without good data, AI is never going to work. It guesses, it amplifies inconsistency, it scales chaos. Let's get real for a moment. Most MSPs do not have an AI problem. They have an operational discipline problem. And nowhere is this more obvious than in triage. If your current process is ticket comes in, goes into the queue, and the techs grab it and figure out what's next, that's not triage. That is uncontrolled chaos. And that chaos shows up everywhere. Slow response times, inconsistent service delivery, stressed out techs, unhappy clients, unusable data, especially for AI. AI cannot fix that. It makes it worse. If you're hearing this and thinking, yeah, that's basically how tickets flow right now, hit the like on this video because that's more common than you think. Now let's break down what an actual triage review process looks like, because structure is what makes AI possible, not tools, not integration, process. At a high level, your triage process starts with intake and ends with a defined outcome. No guesses, outcomes. If a structured MSP, tickets don't just land in one generic queue. They are routed into 6 intake destinations: triage, support, monitoring alerts, machine-to-machine alerts, projects, and recurring tickets. Each one has its own purpose and AI preparedness. Typically, service coordinators own triage and the recurring tickets, and techs own the rest. Right away, you're creating clarity. Now, from there, each ticket flows through a defined process group: a triage light for techs, audit alert review, and in-house ticket creation. Each of those leads to clear outcomes. We need more processing. We need a request for more information, self-assignment and engagement, return to triage, assign to another tech, or my favorite one, false positive and just complete it and let it go. That's what structure looks like. Every ticket has a path. Now let's zoom in to where most MSPs struggle: the actual triage process. This sits in the triage queue, owned by the service coordinator. It includes 5 key steps: description cleanup, retitling, client verification, content verification, and workflow standard operating procedure assignment. Let's talk about why these matter. Description cleanup is about removing the noise. No email signatures, no disclaimers, no fluff, just the facts. And because your texts need clarity, not context overload, retitling is simple but very powerful. If your tickets say help or urgent, you're not helping anybody and it only delays the process. A title should clearly describe what the issue is. Now, your tech knows what they're walking into before they even open the ticket just by looking at the ticket title. Client and contact verification sounds basic, but this is where billing errors and communication breakdowns start. Autotask will misassign tickets. If you're not catching that in triage, it compounds downstream. Now here's the big one, workflow assignment. This is where most MSPs lose efficiency. Autotask's default priority system is built for incidents and incidents only, things we call break fix. But your business includes moves, adds, and changes, installs, projects, and recurring work. What do you do with those? So instead of using priority as an urgency, we recommended using it as a workflow SOP, standard operating procedure selector. This means the moment a ticket is triaged, is routed into the correct SOP. Is this an incident response SOP? Is it a move, add, or change? Is it an install or a project? Is it preventive maintenance, also known as recurring engagements? Now the ticket has a defined path from new to complete that everybody in the organization should understand. And this is where efficiency comes in. If you're not sure what your workflows actually are today, or you know that they're inconsistent, depends on who touches the ticket, drop a comment below. That's usually the first sign your operation is not AI ready. Now let's move on to the next layer, Triage Lite. This is where the techs perform a lighter version of triage when needed. Same structure, but different outcomes. Self-assignment or engagement. They may return it to triage for that deep dive triage process or assign it to another tech. Still structured, still controlled. Then we have an alert review. This is a big one. Most MSPs let alerts automatically become support tickets. That floods the system. Instead, alerts should be reviewed by a tech first. And there are two possible incomes. False positive, let's just close it, let it go away. This is a legitimate issue that needs engagement and some sort of remediation. Send it to triage for that deep triage dive and proper review and assignment. This step alone can illuminate a massive amount of wasted effort. And finally, ticket creation scenarios. When a tech creates a ticket on site or when a recurring ticket is generated, workflow assignment happens immediately at the point of ticket creation. No ambiguity, no delay, and here's why all this matters. This is not just about organization. This is about data. When every ticket follows a structured process, you have clean data. You create consistent data, and you create usable data, and that's what AI needs. Without it, AI is just guessing. With this is where MSPs go wrong. They try to layer AI on broken pieces. And then what happens? They automate inconsistency, they scale bad data, they lose trust in the output. And then they say AI doesn't work. But AI is not the problem. The foundation is. If you want help identifying where your intake and triage process is breaking down, grab our operational improvement checklist. It's free and it will show you exactly where your bottlenecks are. So let's bring this all together. If you do nothing else, focus on this. Map your client request journey from new to complete. Ask yourself, is every step defined? Is it documented? And is it followed consistently? If the answer is no, this is your opportunity. Because in our experience, when MSPs fix the intake and the triage process alone, they eliminate 60 to 70% of that out of control chaos that's preventing you from growing the company. No tools, no extra headcount, just better process. That's the leverage point. Not AI, not non-AI automation, process discipline. What's that in place? AI does become very powerful. Until then, it just exposes gaps faster. If you want a second set of eyes on your operation, book a free strategy call with me, and I'll walk you through the current setup, show you exactly where the breakdowns are. No fluff, just practical operational insight that's free. Thanks for watching. Other than that, have an awesome day.